Hey there, future professionals. Welcome to Employability Plus, the channel where you'll find everything you need to build the skills that get you hired.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to Employability Plus. I'm so excited to see you all again. I hope same with you. So, what are we waiting for? Let's discover more, functions for data cleaning. Yes, you heard it right. We are going to continue with data cleaning using Power Query. So, I have a list of functions which we are going to discuss today, right? To make our life so simple, make our data more elegant. Let's see what we have in store for today. The agenda for today is going to be merging queries, appending queries, combine the files, managing parameters and data format. Before we start using these functions in Power Query, let me give you a brief idea. What do we mean by merge queries? Those who are already using Excel, you might heard about VLOOKUP function. VLOOKUP function, when you want to, you know, acquire informations which are missing in your master file from another source, we use a VLOOKUP function, right? Similar to that, in Power BI or MS Access for that matter, or SQL, the structured query language, we have something called merging queries, wherein you can pick the information what you want from another table, right, by matching the fields which are common in both the tables. Let's say you have a data set one which is a master file which you are working, and you want to pick up certain information fields from another table. You can do that by having a common field between both the tables. We are going to use that. We are going to combine, or let's say pick up certain fields from another table using merge query for today. Again, we have a concept called append queries. When you have a similar data set, let's say you have sales for the month of January, sales for the month of February, right, or March. You want to combine all these three files together, which has a similar data field. Is it possible to do it with a query? Yes, it is possible using an append query in Power BI. At the time of uploading the data, do we have an option to combine the files? Yes, we have. Using a combine files option, during the upload stage itself, you can combine similar files. The way I said, like I said, sales for different months can be combined for a quick data analysis at the stage of uploading itself, even before transforming the data. That can be done, right? Similarly, we can use a function called manage parameters. If you want to make your the functions more dynamic, if you want to set certain automated steps for your sorting, your filtering, you don't get better than managing, you don't get better than parameters. And today we are going to see how to manage those parameters to make our life very simple using Power BI and make our data more elegant and appealing to the users. Data formatting, the last thing we are going to see for today, where we are going to see how to work with rows and columns in Power BI. So what are we waiting for? We have a lot of things to discuss for today. Let's begin. Here we are in Power BI desktop. Let's walk the talk. So whatever we have discussed just while ago, we are going to apply those concepts in Power BI. Let's have a hands-on experience. So the data files have been already loaded and we are already there in the transform data option. right? In the Power Query, right? Where we are going to apply those concepts we just learned, right? So the first one we are going to discuss is merge query, which I said earlier. Merge query is what we are going to discuss further. Let's see what are we going to do. Well, we are going to merge dataset 2 and dataset 4, where in dataset 2, assume it is a what? It is a master file. As I said earlier, this is an alternative. Merge query is an alternative for VLOOKUP in Excel. So this master file has all the data fields available. However, the recent two fields, like the fields which is the category and size, is not available with this dataset. Although the order ID has all the informations you know uh, have related to that particular order ID, it doesn't have the size and category which we are going to acquire or source from the dataset 4. That is the agenda. Now look at this data. We have column 1, column 2, column 3. We don't have the headers. So whenever you are coming against this kind of thing, where you're seeing these kind of information wherein the data does not have you know it does not have the headers, right? Immediately go to transform option, click on here, transform option, use first row as headers. If the system, it's usually it gets auto populated. In case if it is missing, you can use transform, use first row as head before even you do any activity. So let's begin now with data set 2 and data set 4 merging, right? Here in this concept, dataset 2 is the master file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use merge function, which is in home merge query. Click on that. You'll get an option like this, wherein select a table matching columns to create a merge table. So the first will be the default one. Why do I say default one? The one which you have selected before you clicked merge will be the first one on the top. So dataset 2 here, if I click dataset 1 and 2, it will be on the top. So the dataset 4 is what we are looking at. So we want to basically pick up these two columns, category and size, and merge with this. That's the idea. So when we do this thing in Excel, what we do, we generally try and find the common column, common field between both the tables and map based on that. Right? Do we do that? That is exactly, precisely we are going to do with here. We are going to find something which is common between both the tables. Look at these two tables. What do you think is common between these two tables? Order ID 1, order ID in dataset table, so dataset 2 and order ID in dataset 4, both are common. So which we are going to use it. Now we are going to use a join kind. There are multiple ways we can merge table. The first thing which we are going to use is the joint one, which we discussed, wherein I'm going to take all the information from dataset 2, all from first. This is called left outer. All from first, matching from second, which means all the fields from the first will come into the data set, the final outputs. In the sense, it will happen in dataset 2 only. You're not going to have a new file for this. Basically, there's an option to create as a new file or use an existing option itself. So if you see this, it will be available here where you can merge query as new or merge query the existing table itself. So I'm going with merge query as in the existing table only. Similar to your transform and add column option, you also have something called merge query as new. So I'm going with merge query. I'm taking dataset 2 and dataset 4. I'm going to combine both together. This with this, combine both. I'm going to use left outer all from first, matching from second. I'm getting it from all from first, matching from second. So which means all the fields from here. So give OK. Right? So your information from the dataset 4 has come here, but it will come as a table. It will come as a table. The entire table will be given to it will be pasted in every single row, the corresponding information based on the matching field which you have given, which is order ID. It will come here. So what you have to do is you have to pick up only those fields which you want. So what you have to do for that, you need to click on the top here. you'll find a kind of a button type. Click on that, select only the fields which you want. I want category and size, not the order ID, because order ID is already available in the existing table which I used for matching. So I don't require that, so I select only category and size and give OK. Now you can see category and size in this data set. Here you have an data set from this one, the next data P, the data set 4, you got category and size, and remaining all belongs to data set 2. So this is similar to what you have done in VLOOKUP, but VLOOKUP you do it manually. If you want to add 5 columns, you have to do 5 times you have to perform, or you use a what? Dollar sign. Again, it takes a lot of time, even if you are using a dollar sign absolute reference for VLOOKUP. But here, 25 columns, 35 columns, all you have to do is just tick those columns. It will come, right? Not this place. The before I have shown you that button. You can select all the columns, whatever you want to upload in the dataset 2. So this is all about merge query, but I want to give you some more information on this merge query. Okay. So the first option which we have selected is left outer, which means all the thing from the first will come, and the only those which are matching from the second set will come, data set will come in the first option. But there's something called right outer. What happens is it will take the second as the master file, all the thing will come from the second one, right? And then matching from the first will be appended here. Basically all information from second, only those who are matching from the first will be given here, right? And then you have something called full outer, which means both the data set will be combined together. It's similar to your combined files, right? Or append query, everything will be combined, right? Then we have something called inner, only matching rows, right? In the sense, the tables, the rows which are matching, let's say from here to here, how many rows are matching? Let's see that. Let's see, let me give you an example. Let's say we are removing this step. Okay, we are going back, removing merged query. Okay, we are going here and see how many are matching. Let me show you that, so your understanding will be better. Now when I click on the dataset 2, here is dataset 2, dataset 4, right? And match this and this. So what is that result you are getting? The selection matches 42,573 or 43,566. You're getting my point? Out of 43,566 rows in the dataset 4, right? 42,573 is matching. Basically, we are comparing with the dataset 2, which is the first table. So from dataset 2, out of 43,566, we have 42,573 is available in dataset 4. Selection matches. If I pick up some other table which is not having any match, I will get to know only at this stage itself. Select the same number of columns. Let's say, since the columns are not matching, let's say this, let's say no, yeah, data set 1. I think we have not selected this one, right? Order ID, select the order ID and see. Selection matches 0 of 43,566 rows, which means there is no matching in this two. So before even you proceed with your merge, please see this line to see whether you have really matching fields before you proceed, right? If I know that there is a matching, right, and I combine these two and find some matching here, what this one, then when I give OK, I'm getting this option to choose the fields. This is where I told you can include all the columns in one go in Power BI. That is the power of Power BI. Unlimited, the unlimited power we have, right? So now we brought it here. Let's move on to the next topic. So append queries. When I say append queries, what does it mean? Let's delete this step for time being, right? Let's move on to append query. Append query, we can actually append two different tables together. So when I click on this one, two tables I can append. Right, say right now I'm sitting in the data table 2 and I'm going to use append query. So basically I want to append dataset 2 and dataset 4. So dataset 2, okay, I'm going here and then append with dataset 4. This query has been appended. Okay, now I'll get some empty values. Reason being, this data set has only limited number of columns. You're getting my point? This data set is having limited number of columns. So how do I know exactly whether it has really appended, or just we did it without knowing whether it is appended or not? So for that, what I can suggest to you is, before you append the thing, before you append this data set 2, data set 4, basically you're adding 2. What you can do is you can go to transform, use count rows. Count rows for dataset 2, which is 43566. Now count rows for dataset 4. Okay, let's say dataset 4, transform count rows. It is 42541. When you append both, let's see, it should not remain same basically, right? So let's delete this step of counting for both the places, right? So make this as a table, then a count, and then use this option, append queries. Right? Again, you can use as append queries as new or existing table. I'm doing with the existing table, 2 tables, or let's say this time we'll use differently. We'll use append query and create as a new table, right? Instead of existing table. So 2 tables. The first table is going to be dataset 2. The second table it's going to be dataset 4, right? These are something at 42,000, 43,000, right? So dataset 2 and dataset 4 we are going to upload now as a 450 table. Basically, it's an append table. Basically, it's created as a single table. It's not doing it in the existing table. Now, this table, let's see the count. We are going to the count, transform, right? Count rows. Now it is 86, which means it's simple. Dataset 1, dataset 2, okay, combined with dataset. Basically, what happened? We have a dataset 2, which is, what is the number we have here? We have count value of, which is 43566. Okay, 43566, 43566, and then you also have, basically we have 43566 plus 42451. So together it is 86017. Okay, let's see in your append table. Let's understand why it is coming like this expression error. The reason being, these 2 tables have become numbers count. So that is why we are append file become an error file. So what you can do is to get that, we'll just convert this, delete this count rows for both the tables. You can delete the count rows for both the tables, then your append will work. It's 86017 together. So let's see whether we got the calculator same count. Yes, which means your append is working fine. You could able to combine 2 data sets, which is dataset 2 and dataset 4, using the option, right, append. Let's delete this one. Right, now that you know how it is done, right, let's move on with combine files. Now combine files, what happens in combine file stage? At the stage of uploading the data itself, we can combine it. Okay, let me show you. Let's say you have the option, it's the file options, wherein file, let's delete all these file queries. Okay, keep it clean, transform, go to from here itself, go to new source, right, more, folder, browse, dataset, dataset. Now, when I okay this one, I can upload all the files in one go, as you know, which we discussed in the previous video also. Those are missed. I think it's a learning for you. I can upload all 4 files together. When I upload it, okay, I can give transform data directly, as you know. So when I give transform data, data set sits here like this, right? It sits here like this. Now, we can use an option called combine files here. You could see an option called combine files. Even this, when I uploaded this data set, combine files have come here. You getting my point? So what happens here is, assume that all the data sets are similar data sets and you want to combine everything together into one data set. Okay, you can either click this combine option which is here, or your combine files now got activated. Earlier it was not visible for you to select. Now at this stage it is available. You can click here or you can click in this. Both are same. When I click here, entire data sets gets combined into one data set. This will be very useful to you, especially when you are working on large data sets where you have to pick up
While it's processing, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and become part of our loyal pack at Employability Plus. Woof.
data from different sources and combine it into one file. Now this one file has all the information. I can give okay, it gets uploaded into the system. You could find a one file which has all informations into that. You can count it also. You can go to transform count rows. It is 2,84,157. Earlier we used to have 43,000 for one file, another file around 43,000, like this we had. So since it has combined all the files together, now we have a combined number which is 2,84,157. So this is possible, the combining at the stage of transformation itself. I hope you understood how to combine different files into one at the time of upload itself. Right? Managing parameters. When it comes to managing parameters, as I said earlier, it can be used for various things. Right? When you use the managing parameters, we can use it for various activities. One is sorting the data. We can use it for, and filtering the data. Some of the I'm going to talk about something which we are going to use it immediately: sorting and filtering, and how to make it as more dynamic parameters. Right before that, what I did is I just added 4 files which I've added already. The headers I told you at the beginning. In case if you would like to add header, you can keep it as use as first row as headers. So all 4 files we have restored it after combining all, right? And then we are going to see how to use parameters. So when you say parameters, it is available in home, manage parameters, right? Manage parameters. When you use this one, here we don't have an edit now, so we have to create new one. When I create new one, before creating new one, so what you have to see is we need to perform certain task and then include parameter into this one. So what you can do is, first you can do a filtering of this option, wherein I'm going to filter this data. Let's say a less attribute. It has only cancel shift. Okay, when you load more, it has blanks, cancel, shift, and one shift, right? Or we can use it. It is a two same courier status. Here also we will have similar data set. We have blanks as well, right? So no issues. We'll take this option, load more, pick up only cancel at present, cancel, shift, unshift. These are the options list values we are going to give, right? Cancel, shift, unshift. So we are going to our parameter. We are going to the home parameter, new parameter one, where it is going to be sorting, sorry, filtering, right? And then we are going to say any suggested value, list of values. We are going to key in those values. We are going to keep it. Let's say we have something called cancelled as the first option, second option, right? We are keeping cancelled, and then we are keeping shift, we are keeping unshipped, third option. The default value is the file list value which you want to keep it as default if you don't select. So I'm keeping cancelled as default, and current value, whatever the value which comes. Okay, you can just keep that cancel as both can be same, default value and current value. So you can give okay. Now you get a parameter with these options, these three options. Okay. Now go to the dataset 2. Here we need to make a change in the M code. When I say M code, like you have a syntax in Excel. In Power BI, you have an M code option. M code formula, basically a syntax. Now, when I created this filter in the applied step filter, when I filtered this shift, this is generated automatically. I didn't write this M code. This is called M code. This is created automatically. I haven't done anything on this one. It has been created automatically since I used a filter rows option using an interface. Now this is static, which means it is only shipped. If I want to make correction, I have to make correction in the filter rows by clicking here. I want to change it. Okay, in the sense I have to change it like this manually or change it here using this option. Can we make this as a dynamic, which means if I make certain changes in some other place, it gets automatically changed. Parameter helps you to do that. Right now, what I'm going to do is instead of a default value or a static value shipped, okay, I'm going to include parameter in this portion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type filter. So and include this filtering option, which is the parameter which we have created. Now I'm giving okay, enter. So now you may not see the difference what happened because shift is there already. Earlier also shift was there if I'm right. So filtering is here. Now when I go to the parameter and change this shift, you have seen this dataset 2 has shift as the option, right? Here. Shift as the option, yeah. Now this the dataset 2 will change if I make a change to this. Now I've changed it to unshift. You look at the change in here. It gets automatically it gets changed. That is the power of parameters. Now see this one, unshift. Earlier it was shift. Since it has become unshift, now we can see that it is in the brackets. Whatever it is there in the bracket only will come here. Let's say we are changing it to cancelled. It is coming as bracket cancelled. In dataset 2 also you'll have cancelled as the field. You getting my point? So what did we do? We just edited this one and included the parameter instead of that. So that's the beauty about parameter. Let's do one more activity on parameter where we are going to use sort function. Right? So let's delete this filter this time. Okay. Let's not do filter. What we can do is sort the data. Let's say Excel, this size. I'm going to sort the data. How do we sort? Click on this filter option. Sort ascending. So this data has been sorted. Right? Now you got something here as a formula. Just keep this and then let's create one more thing. Right? So what we can do is we create a new parameter we can select and name we can mention as sorting. Description we can give it as sorting the database. It can be any field. Suggested value, let's keep list the different fields which we have in this data set. Let's say size is one can be kept. Size we can keep status one option, and we can say quantity as another option. For timing we'll give only three fields. Data value, give it as size. First option we can current value also. You can give it as a let's give okay. Get that will be created as a another parameter, and current value we have size, status, and quantity. Let's test this one in the dataset 2. We have all these options to sort. Dataset 2. Let's go to sort rows. Here, this is a default value which we have given, right? This is an M code as we discussed earlier. Size is the default value. Now we are going to make this as dynamic based on our options. So instead of size, what we can do is we can, type sorting. When you type, yeah, let's say of this, we are going to type it. So sorting. Yeah, now it has come. Select the sorting and give enter. Data will get sorted. Okay, now it is already been done based on size. Now if you want to check, you can go and see the size. It will be sorted based on this. Yes, of course it is. Yes, it has been sorted based on size. Now how do we know whether it is working fine? Go to sorting and change this into status now, and go back to dataset C. This time size will not be in the order. Size will not be in the order. But wait, status is in order. So status is in order. Similarly, you can change the last option also, which is the quantity. Then go and see the quantity this time. It will be in the order. Yes, starts with 0. So which means that you can create a dynamic variable, okay, dynamic value using the parameter. So we understood how to create, filtering and sorting using. In future, we are going to learn few more tricks using parameter. At this stage for cleaning data, I think this is sufficient to know. So let's come to the last one for today. The last one we are going to see here is we are going to see how to, remove columns and keep columns or working with, rows and columns in Power BI. That is the agenda for now. Like we have. Now, when I say this one, working with a thing, let's say in this dataset one, I have the dataset where I want to keep the, keep top rows alone. So basically, if I want to keep only the top row, so if I click here and say keep top rows, it will ask me how many rows you want to keep it in the top. Let's say I want to keep it only 5 rows in the top. Remaining all I want to delete. So I can give 5 and give OK. Except those 5 rows on the top, remaining all will be deleted. If I want to keep only the last 2 rows, I can say keep rows, keep bottom rows. So only these 2 rows will be there now, remaining all will be deleted. Like this, you can work on rows using these options that they're in home, keep top rows, keep bottom rows, or you can give range of rows also, like from when to when. From first row 5 to number of rows I want 10. Not with this data, let's say with data set 2, I want to have keep rows, keep range of rows, which is from the fifth row. Okay, I want to have 20 rows. Basically, I want to have what 15 rows in my data set, not more than that. Only 15 will be there. From fifth row, I have this data set, right? From top, from 5, I'm having 15. So top 5 will be retained, remaining 15 will be added together in this. So like this, you can have this one. Otherwise, you can have only keep duplicates option, right? These things can be done in this, right? Similarly, we have something like, removing columns. Removing column also, you can choose which are the columns you want to remove. If I want to remove this particular column, I can just use only, I can select only this column, right? And then say remove other columns. So what happens? Only order fulfillment will be there. The data set remaining all the columns will be deleted. Are you getting my point? Meaning all columns now got deleted because we have decided to retain only these column, this column, right? Sorry. Similarly, if I want to go to a column, a particular thing, I can use this option called go to column. Which column you want to go? I want to go to column number size, a name, right? So it comes to this column. If you have so many columns, it is easy for you to navigate between columns using this option. Especially when you have a large data set. Assume that you have a data set like this, you want to go to the another thing. You can use a shortcut, like you can use Alt, right? If you know this shortcuts. okay, and use H, it's a K, Alt HK, okay, it will bring you here, right? You can select the column and then use this one and say I want to keep I want to remove other columns except status. So status alone will be retained. So working with rows and columns, it's not it is never easy like this. Okay, this is what happening with Power BI. I hope you understood the concept whatever we discussed for today, right? uh, in case if you have any doubt, you can always comment, right? If you have any, if you want to share any information, please do it in comment section. Thanks so much for watching this video, and please do subscribe. That is very important, okay, to keep this, videos moving, right? So looking forward to meet you all again in the next video. Thank you.